What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me across all socials after a 4-0 sweep of the board on a Friday night. Not bad. We've had two of those this week. Sweep on a 3-0, sweep on a 4-0, although it's 2.5 units. We got both player props right. Wembanyama and Paul George both hit their player props, so we gave out during the Discord channel, so 2-0 there. If you aren't in the Discord channel, this is why you should be in the Discord channel. On Fridays, we're going to do player props. Now, I'm going to sprinkle it in as we go through the NBA season, but for Fridays, for sure, you'll get NBA player props out of me from here on out. So, nice 2-0 night there. We get 2-0 on the plays I gave out on the podcast overnight, which was nice. I mean, that hockey over was fortuitous. It was 0-0 after one. And then the third period, fireworks, and we got going there with 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the heck it was, goals. So over 6.5. Nashville, 11 straight overs for Dallas at home. Dallas Stars at home over until further notice. And then we get the basketball bet to come in, and we get Iowa. They blew out Nebraska in the second half. Nebraska shot like crap from behind the arc, like I thought. That is a make or miss team. That might be the number one make or miss team in all of college basketball. 37% of their points come from behind the arc, and they beat the number one team in the country. Nebraska was not used to that, so that was a predictable, poor shooting night for the Huskers. They got waxed by Iowa. We laid 4, wasn't even needed. Almost 20-point win for Iowa. So 4-0, up 2.5 units on the night there. So very good week going as we head towards a Saturday. Now, this is very cool because we have a lot of things going on. The first of which is the live stream, which, by the way, there is no Sunday live stream. I was wrong. I thought we were doing 2. We're just doing it on Saturday, today, noon Eastern, okay? Same place, same time on the BettingPros YouTube channel, but we're doing all 5 games tomorrow, right? So I've got 2 bets for the NFL games today on this podcast. I will give you the teasers, plural, for the weekend tomorrow, okay? So it's tough to do long teasers during the playoffs because it doesn't really matter, and I'm going to cross days, and I got a bunch of things to tell you about during the live stream today at noon Eastern, but that's the only live stream. Nothing on Sunday, nothing on Monday, okay? So Saturday is the 6 games. I always think it's 5 games. There's 6 games. 2 today, 3 tomorrow, and then 1 on Monday. So we'll have picks on the podcast still, but I'm going to give you the teasers tomorrow on the live stream starting at noon Eastern time on the Betting Pros YouTube channel. So make sure you tune in for that for the Super Wild Card Weekend live stream for 30 minutes with myself at noon. And I believe it's Andrew Erickson joining me tomorrow on the program because Pat Fitzmaurice joined me last week. So I'm pretty sure it's Andrew Erickson who's going to join us. But maybe I have that flipped for who my co-host is going to be tomorrow from Betting Pros. Let me see if I can grab that really fast as to who that is, because I'm kind of blanking on who it's going to be. Pat Fitzmaurice tomorrow. I was wrong. So that's who we're talking to myself and Pat Fitzmaurice. Coming at you at noon Eastern time on the Betting Pros YouTube channel. Now, one more thing to tell you about. And if you have not done this, you can jump in right now before these games kick off with the playoff pick'em contest. Now, somebody told me that this is already sold out. Okay, but if it is, I will see if we can extend and open it up to more entries for the Betting Pros playoff pick'em contest. $25 entries, 3 max, top 10 get paid out. Game kicks off, starts today, so you got to get your picks in. If you're in, make sure you get your picks in. Don't forget about that. BettingPros.com/splash is how you enter. BettingPros.com/splash. I believe we had a maximum of 1,000 entries, and I think we may have hit it, but I'm going to tell you about this in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. If it is sold out, I will see if we can add and open it back up again for the morning to see if we get up to kickoff. We can add some more entries because the more entries we get, the more money in the prize pool, the better it's going to be. So, but if it's not sold out, bettingpros.com/splash to be a part of the Betting Pros playoff pick'em contest with Betting Pros and Splash Sports. Okay, it is Saturday. We got a big card. Okay, this is what we do on Saturdays normally in college football in the NFL. we're doing college basketball in the NFL this time, okay? Let me give you college basketball, and then I'll give you the NFL, all right? Now, oftentimes you guys like bonus picks, okay? If you want a bonus pick, something that's not official, but something you may want to add on if you like, I like Southern Illinois today at home against Drake. The number's 2.5. SIU is 8-1 ATS at home, but I don't love it. Don't love it. The number has gone from 2.5 to 3 at certain books. Drake played really well. I need to see more of Drake before I can go back to making some plays official. Went against Drake last time out, and we lost it because they did really well. Indiana State got blown out at home. Drake's on the road, though. Lost the last 2 road games, but I'll be betting that game personally and watching it. But if you want some extra Valley basketball there, Southern Illinois plus 2.5 up against Drake. You guys know what I do, right? I bet the teams that I watch. So let's talk about the Creighton Blue Jays up against St. John's. Look, I'm not in love with what I have seen lately out of the Creighton Blue Jays, okay? And I am concerned. Let's just say it that. I am concerned at what has happened, and I'm concerned at the way things have gone down over the last couple of weeks. There are warning signs with the Creighton Blue Jays that make me, I don't want to say throw up a red flag, but they're not playing the way that I like right now, okay? They've had some good wins. They're taking care of some bad teams. But the Jays are at home laying 8 points against St. John's. Now, St. John's is okay on the road ATS. They're not outstanding. They're 4-4. The Jays are 4-4 as well at home against the number. They beat Providence. They didn't cover. They lost to Villanova outright. They beat Alabama. They didn't cover. Those were the last 3 home games for the Creighton Blue Jays. 4 wins in a row for St. John's. They beat Providence at home, didn't cover. They beat Villanova on the road, did cover, won by 10 as 3.5-point dogs. They beat Butler at home, laying 6.5, won by 16. They didn't cover against Hofstra on a neutral court. It was 8.5. They won by 5, but they still won. On the road against UConn, they were 11.5-point dogs. They lost by 4. That's very impressive in my mind with these guys as to how they've played. Against West Virginia, they're laying 5. They won 6. More on West Virginia here in a second. But we're going West Virginia, the road games, West Virginia, covered. UConn, covered. Villanova, covered. Last 3 road games, St. John's has won, let alone covered. They've won. This team is athletic in the backcourt, and that's going to be a problem for the Creighton Blue Jays, all right? They've won 3 games in a row. Again, they beat DePaul on the road. They didn't cover against Providence at home. They beat Georgetown on the road. They lost to Marquette. They lost to Villanova. They beat Alabama. But their last 2 home games, last 3 home games, they have not covered. I don't trust the Jays to cover 8. I didn't trust them. The Providence number, I did. I laid it with them with Providence. It didn't come in. They won by 9. I think they probably win the game by 5 or 6. I don't think the Jays win this game. I think 8 is too heavy. I'm taking St. John's plus 8, 1.1 units on the Johnnies on the road in Omaha. It's going to be cold, but I've seen these games before. Okay, it's an afternoon game. People might not be in the building. The atmosphere gets kind of sleepy when these games happen in Omaha. They like night games. They much prefer to play these games at night when they can drink and party and get ready. And so I've seen this before where they just come out a little bit sluggish and they never really get going. And these are games I've seen the Creighton Blue Jays lose outright before at home as 8-point, 9-point favorites. I'm taking St. John's plus 8 for St. John's, which is, by the way, right on the number for what Ken Pom has it. Ken Pom has it right on 8 for an 8-point win for the Jays. I'll take St. John's plus 8 here at home. Sorry, St. John's on the road at Creighton for 1.1 units. Okay, bet number 2. Let's talk about North Carolina. They're laying 12.5 points at home against Syracuse. The number 14. That's what Ken Pom has this as. An 82-68 point win over Syracuse. North Carolina's playing really well, okay? They're the 15th most efficient offense in the country. They're 133rd in field goal percentage. They are 70th in 3-point percentage, only 177th in 2-point percentage. But This is a team that has really thrived at getting to the rim, offensive rebounding and scoring. Baycott's been tremendous. Their guard play has been awesome with RJ Davis. 48.8% of their points are coming on 2-pointers here. That's really effective on the at home and on the road when you get to the rim. Syracuse's offense is just not good, okay? Effective field goal percentage, 224th. 3-point percentage, 262nd. 166th in 2-point percentage for this team. I mean, Syracuse does not play fast. I guess I'm sorry, through the back. They're playing much faster than normal with Coach Audrey. They're playing faster, 41st in the country for that. But defensively, they're okay. They're not great. They're middle of the pack. They lost to Duke on the road, 86-66. They lost to Virginia on the road, 84-62. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Gonzaga. The best win is a win on a neutral court against Oregon, which was somewhat shocking. They beat Oregon 83-63, but North Carolina's been really, really good and really effective at home this year. Their losses have all come on neutral courts. Lost to Nova on a neutral in overtime, lost to UConn on a neutral, and Kentucky on a neutral. Since the loss to Kentucky, they've beaten Oklahoma, Charleston Southern, Pitt, Clemson, and NC State all on the road. We've bet them with Pitt, Clemson, and NC State. We're going to keep betting the streak here for North Carolina to win and North Carolina to cover. I think they cover the 12.5 points here. I know it's a little bit of a bigger number, but I like the 12.5 points. We're laying it here with North Carolina minus 12.5 for this right now for 1.1 units. And one more bet in college basketball to give you guys officially. Texas and West Virginia, okay? West Virginia's lost 3 games in a row. West Virginia has lost 5 of 6. West Virginia is 4-6 at home. They're 1-4 ATS over the last 5 games, and they haven't covered in their last 3. They've only covered 2 times in their last 10 games. On the flip side, Texas hasn't been awesome, okay? But this number opened at 6. It was bet down to 5.5 here in Las Vegas. I don't get the move here, and it feels like a head fake just to get a lower number to come in and take Texas big. I mean, this number should be way higher. I do not understand the 5.5. In fact, KenPom has this as a 9-point win. As a 7-point win for Texas, 75-68. This is a 5.5-point line. We're getting good value here on Texas. We're talking about an offense for West Virginia. We've already gone through this, but West Virginia's offense, 307th effective field goal percentage, 175th efficient offense, 314th in 3-point percentage, 291st in 2-point percentage. This team gets a lot of points in, from non-2-pointers. Half their points come from behind, from a 2-pointer. Only 27% of their points come from behind the arc. And only 22% of their points come from the free throw line, which is not great. 54.9% of the points for Texas comes in the paint. 28.2% come from behind the arc. Texas 59th in 3-point percentage, 48th in 2-point percentage, 39th in effective field goal percentage. And defensively, Texas is good. 45.9 effective field goal percentage. That's 38th best in the country. They are 52nd in adjusted defensive efficiency. They are 20th in 2-point percentage. I mean, 5.5. I mean, give me Texas 5.5 on the road. I mean, my gosh, I don't know how in the world you don't take this. This is a really odd line move to me. West Virginia just is not a good basketball team, and they haven't been a good basketball team for a while. And I don't really understand why. I mean, last time out, Texas against Cincinnati, they were 5-point dogs. They won by 1. They lost at home to Texas Tech. They're laying 6.5. They lost by 11. But at home against Texas Arlington, laying 18. They won by 17, so they didn't cover there. But on the road against Marquette, they were 8.5-point dogs, but that was a revenge game for Shaka Smart, and they lost by 21. They haven't played a ton of games on the road, but they went on the road against Cincinnati, and they were dogs, and they won the game outright. Now they're laying 5.5. I'm taking Texas. All right. I just think Texas, I know they're 2-3 on the road. ATS are away from home this year, and they don't have a great ATS number, but West Virginia just is not a good basketball team, and they are a fade until further notice. Home, road, whatever. We were on K-State. They were catching 2 points. They lost by 14, West Virginia. They were K-State. They were laying 2 points. West Virginia was a favorite in that game. They lost by 14. That made no sense whatsoever to me. But, we're coming in here on Texas. Again, they're going to bet West Virginia, I guess, until they think they're going to figure it out. But no, I don't buy it. Minus 5.5. Laying the 5.5 with Texas for 1.1 units. Okay, so 3 official plays in college basketball. St. John's +8. North Carolina minus 12.5. And Texas minus 5.5. Okay, to the NFL we go. And look, when we get to this point in the season, just tread lightly, okay? The playoffs, this is just a minefield. 2 games today. Cleveland at Houston. Miami at Kansas City. It's not going to be easy, but everyone is jumping on Cleveland. It's such a weird thing. Cleveland is 2-5-1 ATS on the road. I know Houston's 4-5 at home ATS, but there's just certain things that jump off the page for me when it comes to where this Cleveland defense on the road give up 10 more points than they do at home. I mean, they're not a totally different team, but they're really different with what they give up on the road versus what they give up at home. And it has to be acknowledged. Like, it has to be looked at, and it's got to be talked about. So, like, I am very interested to see where this number closes. Very interested to see where this number closes. Because I am convinced that the money for Houston is going to show up today. Because I did not get the love for Cleveland early in the week. I think CJ Stroud, I mean, you could say, Matt, it's a rookie quarterback, and Matt, it's a rookie head coach, and in the wild card round, Joe Flacco doesn't lose. Yeah, but this Cleveland defense, I can't get around it. Like, I think the game goes over, and I can't bet. I don't want to bet totals in the playoffs. I'm going to try to avoid betting totals unless the weather is a really big concern, and there are some really big weather games this weekend. So that's when I'm going to bet totals. But otherwise, at home, in the postseason, this is the playoffs. If the Browns play poorly defensively on the road in the regular season, they're going to play well defensively on the road in the playoffs? CJ Stroud's going to be over his head? I don't see it. And I know the defense has not been great for the Texans. I'll give you that. And I know my record with the Texans has not been great. I'll give you that. But the Texans are 6-3 this year, straight up at home. They're catching 2 points. On the road, Cleveland, 3-5, straight up. I love Flacco. I love the offense. I love everything that what goes on. There's so many cool things with Cleveland you can talk about with how well they play and what they do. I get all that. But to me, I'm taking the dog. Give me +2 for the Texans. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you heard my daughter or not, but that was a kid waking up screaming in my house. So I apologize. Let's go to the last game here for us on the card, and that is the Dolphins up against the Chiefs. Look, there's not a big handicap here, okay? This is an outdoor team dealing with ridiculous weather. And I mean like outdoors, meaning like a warm weather team in the Miami Dolphins. They are not good. They are not good on the road in the cold weather. They're not good in cold weather, period, okay? The numbers are all stacked against Miami. Tua's record on the road. Tua's record in subarctic temperatures, the Dolphins' record in below 40 degrees, it's all bad. All of it's really bad, okay? The KC Chiefs can't score, however. Miami Dolphins' defense is decimated, but the Chiefs' offense is not good. The total is 43.5. We're talking wind chill of -30. Exposed skin can frostbite within 15 to 20 minutes. They're telling people that when they go to the game, they cannot have any skin exposed whatsoever, bundled up. This is going to be disgusting weather. The balls are going to be absolutely unkickable, uncatchable. It's going to be complete misery in Kansas City. I'm betting under 43.5. There's not much more of a handicap than that. It's just these games, weather and wind. Cold, extreme cold is really, really tough to play in. Extreme cold with wind makes it even worse. Yes, I know the running game for the Dolphins is better than the Chiefs. The Dolphins could be in the game. The Dolphins could cover the 4.5. It's possible, all right? Just given the team speed. I don't think it's a Tyreek Hill revenge game simply because of the weather. And Tua's not going to wear gloves today. Okay. I mean, I would wear gloves given the temperature and the wind, but I just think we're not going to see offense. I think the reason why the number hasn't dropped more is because I think the pros want to come back and they want to middle it. So they've already bet 45, they bet 44. So if you give them a 41, you give them a 40, they're going to go to middle it. They're going to jump on the over, and the books could get middled, and that could be really bad. They could lose both bets if the thing falls like 44. Not good for the sports books. So I think that's why the number hasn't come down more, but they might be waiting for the weather and see what the weather's going to be like. But by all accounts, we're talking about just one of the more historically cold games in the postseason history of the NFL. It's just a principal play, under 43.5. If you want to do a teaser, and I very well might do this, and I might do this on the live stream, I want to watch and see where the numbers go. But you could probably tease up, take the Dolphins up here at 43.5, take it to 49.5, take under, take the Texans from 2, bet them up to 8. Not a bad teaser, all right? That's not a bad teaser at all. In fact, that might be a teaser I play on the live stream, but we'll see how it goes, okay? Full card, 5 plays. By the way, no player props yet for me tomorrow or today for the live stream. I'm not doing that today. It's only 2 games, and the weather and whatnot. There won't be player props for the NFL, so I'm giving you 5 games for that reason. St. John's +8, North Carolina -12.5, Texas -5.5, Texans +2. Under 43.5 for the Dolphins and the Chiefs. I will talk to you on the BettingPros live stream at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time with myself and Pat Fitzmaurice. We'll be live on the BettingPros YouTube channel for Super Wildcard Weekend. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.